Hey folks, it's Nikki with Thrive Bodywork in Alexandria, Virginia. And today I want to talk about something that I call being the bendy straw. So I have previous videos where I talk about how we're squishy tin men, and also I call it letting the tissue take the bone. And in this video, I'm going to combine those two concepts. So if you think of a bendy straw, it's just a tube, it's a cylinder, right? And it kinks to bend and then unkinks to straighten, right? And then kinks to bend and unkinks to straighten. But if you're not careful and you do it too quickly or, just unmindfully, that thing will fold and it cuts off the liquid. You can't get liquid through. So if you apply that concept to the body and muscle pathways and energy lines, right? The idea that a muscle is like a chain, and the second chain lights up and moves one, 3 lights up and moves 2, right? 4 lights up and moves 3. And it's this chain reaction of energy firing. And that's what a muscle fiber is. So if you kind of put all of these metaphors together, I'll do it on my arm. So if you think about the arm as one long unit, the elbow is just a halfway point. Not thinking about a forearm and an upper arm, but rather an arm. And I go and I maintain openness through the elbow. And I bend or kink the tissue to sort of let this tissue take itself and open this tissue, so crumple and get lengthened, and then undo it and knit this tissue back together and uncrumple this tissue. All of my load bearing is through the tissue in my arm versus kinking at the elbow, which then cuts off that energy supply and dumps into the joint and then dumps into the shoulder and dumps into the spine, because now I've put all of my load bearing into my tendons and ligaments, which is part of the skeletal system. Well, the ligaments are, the tendons are part of the muscular system, but it doesn't super matter. It puts it into the bones instead of the tissue where it belongs. So it's a thing that's like, it's hard to see when I'm doing it, but if you move yourself with this intention or idea, you should feel a pretty big difference. Another piece that I'll add is I call it nyloning. This idea that imagine I have a pair of nylons, just ladies' nylons, or gentlemen's nylons, between my arms. It's very easy to open nylon in an organized fashion. It really kind of doesn't have a choice. It unfolds nicely, but you have to be very intentional when you bring it back to itself, and allow it time to kind of re-knit. If you do it too fast, it'll crumple. And it's the same idea in our limbs. And I don't know why I didn't do it, but imagine you're wearing a pair of nylons when you move in this sort of bendy versus foldy way. And I think it'll help is this idea that I'm crumpling the nylon here and the nylon is opening here. And then I'm giving the nylon time to re-knit itself on the way back and open here. So if you kind of combine those two ideas of bendy straw with, covered in nylon, you just have no choice. You move through the limb instead of collapsing and folding at the joints, because if you bring that nylon together too quickly, it'll just sort of fold and collapse on itself. So try moving all of your limbs in this way. So you have to go a little bit slower and be a little bit more deliberate, but that's how you load bear and build actual muscle strength instead of just collapsing into the joints and making your tendons and ligaments do all of the movement and load bearing. And it is not the job of the tendon and ligaments to move and load bear. It's the job of the fascia and muscles in the limb. So hopefully that makes some sense. Please try it out on yourself. If you're in the Northern Virginia area, please come and get on my table. I promise you that this will make a ton more sense in your body and actually be a ton easier because we'll undo a lot of the damage that a lifetime of folding or kinking has done, and your body will want to move through the limb. So www.thrivealexandria.com. Ping me in the comments or shoot me a text or an email if you have any questions. But be the nylon covered bendy straw straw when you move, and see how much stronger you'll get in a safer way with less injury. And yeah, wear a mask, get vaccinated, be safe, and feel better in your body. Thanks.